And action. Hey cruisers, welcome to our weekly vlog. Thank you very much, son, for getting us started today. This episode is sponsored by cruiseline.com, where you can find reviews, photos, and tips from real everyday cruisers. We have been very busy lately. We hope that you like the videos that we have been bringing to you. Sorry, stumbling over my words already. We had so much fun going to the mall and filming our what to wear on a Royal Caribbean cruise video. Maybe a little less fun writing and filming our Norovirus episode, but based on the comments, that seemed to be very helpful and informative for all of you. So we hope that you enjoyed that. We loved having all of you on our Alaska live stream last week. That was so much fun. Thank you very much for all of you who brought your expertise and shared a lot of tips with our subscribers and viewers. It was a lot of fun. You can still go and watch that on replay if you would like. It was awesome. So many different tips on ports, shore excursions, and what types of Alaska cruises are the best for you and your party. So speaking of live streams, we aren't quite sure right now what we're going to be doing for our next live stream. Next Saturday, April 22nd, we are doing something a little different. We've been invited to participate on Cruise Week TV. They're going to be interviewing us and allowing their subscribers to talk with us on the coolest, most high-tech live stream ever. So we're going to be bringing you a little bit more information about that. Now, because we won't have an episode between now and then to tell you more about it, we're going to go ahead and put all the links that you can use to watch us and interact on Cruise Week TV in the comments below, and also on social media. So on Facebook and Twitter, you can find out all about it, and we'll get all the links there for you. So we have tons of questions to answer today, and we're going to go ahead and get started on that right now because we have so many different things we want to do. Please pardon the sound of the airplane overhead. On the weekends where we live, there is an awesome glider activity that happens right around the time that we always film our vlog. So that, if you hear any loud noise, that is exactly what that is. All right, we're going to get started with some tips actually today, right before we go to answering questions. In response to our Norovirus episode, we had a couple of our subscribers, Carolyn and Kendra, weigh in with some tips on how to prevent norovirus that we did not include in our episode. And they were suggesting how to sanitize your hands and your cabin. And what we learned from Carolyn and Kendra here is that not all hand sanitizers actually work against norovirus. So you really need to find something that has the right agents in them. And we're going to start with Carolyn's tip here. Carolyn said that the norovirus germ can live on a surface for a couple of weeks. That means that she would suggest giving your stateroom a quick disinfecting before settling in. Now, bleach-water ratio is effective for killing off the germs, but cruise ships don't allow you to pack bleach, right? So what she suggests that you do is do a little bit of research and Google hand sanitizers that kill norovirus, and you'll find brands that do work. Now, what we're going to do is link to some of those, and maybe in the notes below. I'm not sure if we can do that, but definitely on our website, cruisetipstv.com, in the marketplace. So you can go to cruisetipstv.com/marketplace, and we're going to get some of those products there. Kendra was talking about the same thing and said that most Lysol and Clorox wipes actually do not contain bleach. So she found some special Clorox Healthcare bleach germicidal wipes for $10 at officesupply.com. So Kendra has an inside, just an in here basically, because she works in the medical industry. So we appreciate that, Kendra. Thank you so much for that tip. Just as a follow-up to our norovirus episode, I know I'm going to be going and buying these things for my next cruise because I'm really paranoid about it. And now that we've done all that research on it, I feel like I'm knocking on wood, hoping that we don't get sick. You know what I mean? Can't stop thinking about it. So thank you very much, ladies, for your wonderful tips. Also wanted to then get to some questions. I have a really interesting question that I would like to share today from Malong21. Malong first mentioned that they're going on Carnival Legend to Alaska in May. Sounds wonderful. And they're doing the Chilkoot Horseback Adventure. We've never done that one before. They wanted to know if we had any experience with it, but it sounds amazing, and I highly recommend that you book it. As long as the weather's good and you don't have rain, that should be a fantastic excursion. Also, this is the most interesting part of the question that I really want to share on today's vlog and share with all of you. Malong21 said, I am an introvert and a little apprehensive about the large crowds aboard the ship. Are there any, besides your room, quiet spaces on board the ship for seeking a little less noise. And I really think this is an important topic because I would imagine there are a lot of people who are introverted that end up going on cruises. So I consulted with my husband, who is actually quite introverted himself. And he was willing to share some tips that he thought would make you more comfortable as an introvert cruising. And I thought that I would share those with you. My husband, the first thing that he said is that one thing that he finds the most comforting is when we get on board to confirm that we have a table for just our family. The idea of dining with other people doesn't sound very relaxing to him really, or to us as a family, because we work a lot, and when we vacation, we kind of want to get away and have that time to reconnect over dinners. So seeking out a private table at dinner may help you with some of that. Second, we think that getting a balcony cabin is a really good idea. Now, I know you already know that you can escape to your room, but the balcony gives you this little extra bit of space to really relax and enjoy separate from the people. Since this is your first cruise, we're not really sure how you're going to react to those crowds, right? Everybody's a little bit different about it, but we don't find crowds on cruise ships to be very, let's just say this, you're not automatically required to socialize. You can if you want to, but there's a great deal of anonymity on these larger ships these days. So if you seek out a table at your own at dinner, get a balcony cabin, and then explore some of the spaces on the ship that are a little bit more private, you're going to be just fine. When I was talking to my husband about private spots on the ship, because I've never been on Legend, we were trying to kind of come up with some general tips for you. And what we came up with was very interesting, and that is outdoor spaces generally that are kind of high on the ship. Maybe not the pool deck, because the pool deck tends to be a little crowded, but if you think about it, those higher places like the basketball court, places above the pools, anywhere that you would need to take stairs to go up and up and up, there tend to be less people. And we find ourselves gravitating to those places more to explore and to find some quiet time when we need it. Sometimes the bow of the ship can be great. Even the promenade deck can be relatively uncrowded, so you should be just fine. And Alaskan cruises are pretty mellow. I think you're going to find it to be quite a tranquil experience. Make sure that on Glacier Day, you enjoy the silence and the peace and the quiet, and watch our Alaska live stream for some tips if you haven't already. So I hope that helps you, but please don't be afraid to cruise as an introvert. I think you're going to love it, and let us know how it is when you get back. Our next question today comes from Fernanda Garcia, also going to Alaska, wanting to know if it's better to book tours with the cruise line or better to do it on their own when they land. They want a dog sled, but are clueless. Fernanda, if you want a dog sled, I highly recommend that you book it beforehand. That is a very specialized tour that's probably not going to be available to you right off the dock. So you need to book that in advance, as is the case with most organized tours to Alaska. Now, if you want to do something kind of casual, like walk around the town, take the Mount Roberts tramway in Juneau, take a bus to Mendenhall Glacier, those things can easily be done when you get off the ship. But for those specialized tours like dog sledding or helicopter flights, for example, you need to pre-book. Hope that helps. All right. Next question today is from Kelly O'Neill. Kelly wants to know, what is Princess's policy for carrying on non-alcoholic drinks? And there's the airplane. Kelly, I know it's weird, but Princess really doesn't outline this on their website, do they? They only tell you what alcohol you can bring and what you can't bring, but they don't say anything about non-alcoholic drinks. So here's the bottom line. You can still take soda and water. It's fine. It's no problem. And 2 bottles of wine are still fine. I will tell you that on my last cruise on Star Princess, they inspected every can of my soda. So we took 2 12-packs. It was about 2 12-packs of soda, honey. Does that sound right? My husband likes Diet Coke. I like club soda. So we took 2 12-packs in our carry-on, and they opened the paper containers and took every single can out. And I'm assuming they were doing that to make sure it wasn't beer. I don't really think I look that shady, but they inspected our bags. So just be prepared for that, but they do allow it. So I would take what you'd like to take. You can still take bottled water too. It's not a problem on Princess. And I think that's because on Princess, there's less abuse. You know, you don't have as many people trying to smuggle. So hope that helps you. On the Move with the Meeks is going to Nassau via Carnival Victory in September and wants to know if we have any tips. You guys are going to love the Serenity area on that ship. It's wonderful. Even though you're going with the kids, if you want a little escape from the kids, go to the back of the ship and enjoy the Serenity. We love the Alchemy Bar on any Carnival ship, and I know there's one on Victory, so enjoy that. Go get yourself a specialized martini. I heard, too, that Carnival Victory has a seafood shack, so go have a lobster roll for me and enjoy it and let me know how it goes. I think it's worth the $10 or whatever it costs. The kids are going to love the water slides. We did hear that there's some awesome water features features on that ship. That sounds awesome. I also think that you will love the Sea Day brunch. Don't forget to try it out. They have great food. The steak and eggs is amazing. And last time we went, I had a filet mignon with my eggs and it was complimentary. So enjoy that little perk. Now, since you're going to the Bahamas, I'm assuming that you're going to Nassau. And a lot of people will automatically choose to go to Paradise Island for the day and they'll go pay to spend the day at Atlantis and do the water slides and things like that, but it is extremely expensive. If you don't want to do that, if you want to still go to Paradise Island where Atlantis is, but you don't want to go to the resort and to the water park, you don't have to. You can go walk around the resort, no problem, no charge, or you can go to Cable Beach, which is nearby, and that doesn't cost much at all. You can also do a resort for the day. So get on to cruiseline.com, get onto Shipmate app, and start doing your research, and you will find some really fun things to do. Have a great time on the Victory on the move with the Meeks. Cody Love wanted to know if they could take a drone with them on the cruise. We wish you could. My husband would love to be flying a drone on a cruise or taking a drone with us to whatever destinations we're going to, but unfortunately you can't, and we're hearing that the cruise lines are pretty strict about it, and if you try to take it off, maybe you smuggle it on the ship and you successfully get it onto the ship, but then you go to a port, you take it off in the port, and then they see it coming through the x-ray, getting back on that day, and it's confiscated. So I would not bother to take your drone yet. We're not there yet. Cruise lines do not want you to do that. Okay, Seize the Day, who has a cool screen name, by the way. Another one going to Alaska. It's the season, you guys. They want to know if we have packing videos on carry-on only, and yes, we do. I believe that I messaged you our packing videos. We have carry-on only. We have packing videos for Alaska only. You should definitely look at all of those. But I think that what you wanted to know was you want to take as little luggage as possible, right? And you want some tips. So in order to take as little as possible, I would start with a lightweight, really good quality rolling suitcase. And then I would minimize your shoes and your outerwear, because when we're going to Alaska, we pack all these bulky jackets and you need to tone those down because they're heavy and bulky. Plan on doing some laundry on board. That is going to be the best advice I can give you, because you can rewear your jeans, your jackets, and I don't know why, I've mentioned this before in these vlogs, but clothes get more dirty in Alaska. There's rain, there's mud, there's dirt, and you're gonna wanna do laundry. So take some of those little Tide Pods, take some travel laundry detergent. That'll save you some money. I don't know if Royal Caribbean actually has self-serve laundrettes on the ships that you're going on. If they don't, I would pay the $35 and have that laundry done. It's gonna save you. Keep your toiletries really light, minimize them. Take small bottles of shampoo from the sample aisle at Target or from a beauty box or whatever. Keep the makeup to a minimum and really watch those toiletries. Those things add up and add a lot of bulk and weight. Leave your hair dryer at home as well. But really, the best tips I can give you are do laundry and don't take a lot of shoes. That's probably going to be best advice. You also wanted to know if there are any tips on getting from the airport to the hotel cruise port and any good hotel recommendations that I have for you in Seattle. Strangely, when we went to Seattle on a cruise with my mom I want to say it was about 10 years ago, we took a town car from the airport to the hotel, and it wasn't expensive at all. It was probably the same as a cab, but I think that we must have pre-arranged it through our travel agent or something like that, because I remember thinking, oh yeah, that sounds great, let's do it. The only hotel I've ever stayed at in Seattle is the Hotel Andra, A-N-D-R-A, and it is awesome. It's really charming. It's right in the heart of downtown Seattle, and it's walking distance from the beautiful kind of waterfront areas. You can even see the cruise ships if you walk around a few blocks in that area. Great restaurants nearby, highly recommend it. Hope that you enjoy. All right, James Hawk has a question for us. Says, do you have any info on late nights on a Carnival ship? I am a night owl and my first cruise is coming up. I wonder what I will be doing at 3 a.m. Well, James, here's the bad news. The bad news is I am not a night owl. My idea of a good bedtime is like somewhere between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, even on a cruise, because I've got a early morning work schedule at home and I've just never been able to adjust. So I consulted with my friend and expert on this matter, Tommy from Always Be Booked podcast. You probably already have heard of Tommy, but he had some really good tips for you, and I'd like to share them now. He said that the casino and the nightclubs are going to be the best place to be at that late hour. So if you're staying up till 3 a.m., those are going to be the only spots really to hang out. He said that Carnival has really great high energy nightclubs, good DJs keep the party going, And interestingly enough, though, some of the night owls don't hang out in the nightclubs. They hang out more in the casino, but maybe not even to gamble, but because it's a little more quiet than the nightclub with the DJ and the music and the dancing and all that. So another thing that Tommy wanted us to tell you, and this is kind of a bonus tip from him, is that after all that fun late night partying, you can still go to the Lido and get 24-hour pizza. And Tommy and I, one thing we totally agree on is that Carnival does have some pretty darn good pizza. So head to the back of the Lido after you've been up late and get some pizza to cap it all off. Thank you very much, Tommy, for weighing in on all those tips at the very last minute for me. I really appreciate it. Always can depend on you. All right, next question is from Jennifer Stith. Now, this is a great one, you guys. You're going to love this. Jennifer has done river cruises, but has an opportunity to go on her first Caribbean cruise on a mega ship. So Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas to the Caribbean, but she kind of has a phobic aversion of large things and is only going because of this convention. So she needs some tips on how to go from being, like accustomed to smaller ships, river cruises, things like that, to this giant mega ship. Jennifer, the first thing I'd like to tell you is that early December is an awesome time to go to the Caribbean. You're gonna have great weather, fewer kids, fewer crowds, and it's actually cheaper. So you're picking a good time. Okay, that's one thing I would tell you. Do expect it to be the polar opposite of a river cruise, but you will have, I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit if you do a lot of research on the ship. And of course, if you're going with a convention, you're going to have a lot of interaction with the people that are like-minded and that you're sailing with. So enjoy that part of it. But here are my tips for you. I think you should make some reservations before you cruise at some of the fancy restaurants on board. I think that's gonna make you feel a little bit more at home. Also book a balcony, or if you can, book a suite. You're going to feel like you can retreat to that balcony or that cabin anytime, and I think it's gonna be a nice respite for you. Don't overschedule yourself, even though I'm telling you to make reservations for shows and things like that. I think, keep it mellow, enjoy the convention, focus on the good restaurants, and you'll be good. And it's gonna be a little different for you because obviously when you're on a river cruise, it's all about the ports, right? It's less about the grandeur of the ship, but enjoy the ship in this case. Enjoy the fact that these are crazy, huge shopping mall amusement parks these days, and let us know how it goes. All right, Irene Castillo Alonso has seen some of our packing videos, but wants to know what she should do with her dinner jacket for her husband during formal night. Irene, I think what you mean is what should you do to pack it? My recommendation is to take the little plastic bags that you get at the dry cleaner. You know the ones that they wrap dress shirts and things in? Take one of those, put the dinner jacket in it, leave it on the hanger, and lay it flat on top of the suitcase when you're done packing, if you're not taking a garment bag. If you're taking a garment bag, then just hang it in the garment bag in that plastic. The plastic really helps to reduce the wrinkles. We swear by that tip, and they will give you a couple of them at your dry cleaner if you have a good relationship with them, and you can just go grab them and help yourself to save those wrinkles. Hope that that helps. Christine O'Neill wants to know, what is the best way to budget for the total cost of gratuities, extra packages, excursions, service charges, so one is not hit with a shocking bill at the end of the cruise? So I think what you need to do, Christine, and this is a really complex question. We could do a whole episode on budgeting, but I think you want to just do your research. Find out how much those daily tips are going to cost per person and get everything loaded into an Excel spreadsheet. Find out what the tips are going to cost per person per day and get those multiplied out before you even book the cruise, so you know if you can afford this. Same thing with shore excursions. Are you the type of people that are going to want to spend $100 per person per day swimming with dolphins and doing fancy excursions, or are you going to be happy just going to a beach? Right? So you have to think about those things in advance. And as for other things like drinks and packages, you have to figure every single cocktail that you buy on a ship is going to cost you between probably, I'd say, $5, $6 for a beer, up to $8 to $12 for a cocktail. So every drink, if you don't buy the package, you're going to need to budget for that. Same with sodas. Sodas are probably $2 to $3 per soda, unless you buy a soda package. So just be thinking about that. And if we can, we will do some kind of an episode for you soon on budgeting. I think it's a really wonderful idea, and you may have just inspired an episode. Hope that helps. Send me a little message if you want a little more help, and maybe I can put together an Excel spreadsheet for you. All right, Carolyn Chadwell says, when we book our cruise, do we book it ourselves or go through a travel agent? Carolyn, we book through a travel agent except when we book with Carnival. With Carnival, we actually book through our personal vacation planner. Everyone has access to a personal vacation planner with Carnival. They're kind of like high-end customer service reps that are sort of like travel agents that book only Carnival and they work for Carnival. A really cool concept. But for all other cruise lines, we actually do use our travel agent at Cerritos Travel down in Los Angeles. I hope that that helps you. If you want more information on how to contact either of those people that I just mentioned, you can send me a message and I will get you their contact information. All right, guys, we just have a few more things to do here. We need to help a couple people out. We need to help Orville and help Carolyn. Orville wants to know if we have any information on Passion Island in Cozumel. Now, Orville knows that I always go to Nachi Cacombe and I don't know a whole lot about Passion Island, so if any of you know, Orville's going on Liberty of the Seas in September and wants to have some advice on if that's a good choice. We also want to help, let's see here, Christine O'Neill. It's not Carolyn. Where did I get Carolyn? It's Christine. Christine wants to know if in what ports in the Caribbean or Bahamas offer excursions where people can swim or interact with dolphins. And honestly, I don't know, Christine, so hopefully some of our subscribers can help you out with that. I hope everyone has enjoyed the vlog today. Thank you all so very much for all of your awesome support and thumbs ups. Please be sure to follow us over on Facebook. And did you know you can now rate and review us over on Facebook? We would love it if you would give us a good 5 stars and write some really nice things about us. We always appreciate your support. Also wanted to remind everyone that we are probably not going to be doing a live stream next Saturday. We will keep you very closely posted all over social media on when our next event will be. Be sure to check out our sponsor, cruiseline.com, by clicking in the link below. That's very helpful to us and to them. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you all had a wonderful Easter. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruiser of the Week!
Hey, click me to subscribe. And action.